Guys, today we've got one of the most hyped sneakers of this entire year. Early Nikes. And of course, we got something a little bit crazy, which is actually pretty insane. But let's kick this off with a good old Nike pull tab. You know how we do this. And real quick, could I ask you guys a favor? I hate to do it, but could you please like this video? I'm strapped with freaking 15 kilos while unboxing all of this stuff. It would mean the world to me. Ooh, okay, I know what this is. Yes, we got that KD box in the building. You guys should know what these are. Man, they are bright. This is the KD4 Weatherman. Wow, look at the underneath on that, man. It's got like the footprint with the weather map style. It's crazy because a couple weeks back, we took a look at the Galaxies, which also dropped. And now we've got the Weathermans, two iconic KDs. They were super incredibly limited, but I thought, hey, I'll put my name in the hat. We can unbox them, take a look at them. A lot of color, mainly at the back. They follow along with that, you know, Weatherman theme very nicely. And just like a basketball sneaker should, the outsole is sticky as hell, like even just freaking holding these things. I believe the last time these dropped was 2011, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section, but I believe that's it. I guess if we had to compare them to the Galaxies, I'd probably prefer those a little bit more, but this is still a pretty dope pair. Let me know if you guys managed to get a pair or not. All right, this one, I guess you could say is early technically. Also technically not, but hey, I am actually pretty excited to see these things. So heavy, man. Everything feels heavier. Whoa. Okay. Bit of a crazy box, I'm not gonna lie. Wow. So it feels almost like plastic, to be honest. This box is covered with some kind of, I don't know, glittery texture. I don't think I've ever seen a box like this before. Jeez, it's crazy. So yeah, a ton of glitter is in there. Let's pop the top and see what these actually look like. Are they gonna be super glittery? Yeah, okay, there's a bit of glitter on there, but this is the Jordan 4 Oxidized Green. Okay, some things I really like, some things I'm not the biggest fan of. First of all, colorway, really nice. I really like the combination of the white and the green, super simple. You've got a slightly, you know, little sail outsole, nothing too crazy. I'm a huge fan of the leather. It feels very, very nice. Take a look at the little squish test over there. You also do have leather wing straps, these things over here, as opposed to the regular plastic, which I'm always a big fan of. And you also get a really nice feeling sock liner, which is like silky. It feels a little bit different to the standard Jordan 4, so I'm a big fan of that. Oh yeah, leather back tab as well. Also big fan of that. However, one thing is I'm not the biggest fan of the glittery nature of the color that they used with the green. You have it all the way around the midsole, of course the plastic eye stays as well. It's not really noticeable from afar, like you could hardly tell. Looking at it right now, you probably not even see it, but up close you could definitely see it matches the box. It's definitely glittery. When I first saw images of these things, I thought the oxidized thing was going to be some kind of like, I guess, fading effect they were doing to the green color. Turns out it is just freaking painted on glitter, which yeah, not the best. But the green color itself is pretty nice. It, you know, it's a deep green. One more thing I'm not a big fan of is the Jumpman. It's kind of like semi-translucent, so it has like a bit of a weird look, but again, from afar you're not really gonna see it. Either way, these things dropped very recently here in the EU. The UK seemed like a relatively easy pair to pick up. However, for you guys out in the US, these things are not going to drop until like July at some point. You've got a very long wait, but let me know what you think of them, because I do think it's a solid colorway on the Jordan 4. All right, let's get into this one. Very keen to see this pair. It doesn't have a release date yet, so I'll show you who it's from. Paired. They are a sock company, and basically to design their socks, they base it around sneakers. Now, in order to do that in time for releases, they have to get early sneakers, and so they just were like, hey, we've got this pair of Dunks. Do you want to check them out before they drop? I was like, hell yeah. I assume these don't come in a box? Okay, just to give you a little idea what they do. Socks like this. Is this a Travis Scott one? Yeah. I think this is for the Canaries, and this is the pair of Dunks. This is the Their Skateboard Nike SB Dunk Low. Wow, material way softer than I was expecting. Huge shout out to Paired. Thank you for letting us check these things out. So a stack of extra laces. First off, the ones that you get on here are kind of like flat style, but like a bunch going on here. You've got a huge lace debray, and then yeah, let me just pull out all of these laces. Does it come with this many laces? That seems insane. Let me show you all of these freaking laces. You also get extra debrays. Okay, so this is the one that I've seen in the early images. This is just a regular kind of like metal silver one, so you could replace that with the orange one. So they load you up with different options. Like, you've got a ton of different things to choose from. But the sneakers themselves, feel really, really nice. Like, this is much nicer than I thought it looked like online. So this is all really nice soft suede. So is the actual black material as well. I thought that was going to be a leather, but that's not. It's a suede, and they both feel really nice. So does the Nike swoosh. That's a green leather, tumbled, feels soft. And you've got the regular SB fat tongue and padded sock liner, which is really nice. Some other details on the reverse of the tongue. Even the outsole has some details. That is sick. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with their skateboards, but I think that they did a really good job on this. It kind of reminds me of like the neck face dunks with that like grungy vibe to it. You've got all of this embroidery art that's all around the overlay panels. Yeah, this is pretty sick. Again, we don't know when these things are going to be dropping. I think sometime around September time. We're going to have to wait and see. Either way, let me know what you think of these down in the comment section. And of course, just subscribe to the channel and I'll keep you updated with all of the release dates. We got a clothing pickup before we get into the rest of the sneakers. This one, I feel like I need to build it up a little bit because it's a piece that I always wanted. I actually bought, but they never sent it out. And it is Yeezy and Gap. But it's like one of the most iconic pieces, at least in my mind. I found this thing for a steal. This is a Yeezy Gap Balenciaga, the denim padded jacket. I bought it from a place called Paris Saint, which does like a lot of older archive Yeezy pieces, as well as like some Yeezy samples. They sold this for like, I think about 200 bucks. So this is the cool part, is the padding. So they kind of like crossed a denim jacket with like a motorcycle jacket kind of thing. Does look pretty damn big, but that is so cool. And the padding feels really nice. When this actually released, I bought it and they just never shipped it out, and then they closed up shop and gave me a refund. That was the end of that story, and it's one that I always wanted but just never knew where or how to get it. StockX was selling it for like a huge amount of money. I can't put it on right now, but I'll show you guys in the B-roll what it looks like. Really nice distressing. I just feel like it's gonna be a little bit big. Medium is like my normal size, so I was like, should I just go with that or should I size down? But it's so difficult with Yeezy Gap Balenciaga stuff. Their sizing is all over the place. Either way, this feels insanely high quality, and the fact that I managed to get it for that price is pretty insane. This is such a dope jacket. All right, we got a huge box. Now we're into the crazy zone for sure. All right, how do I open this, man? Oh, so it's a huge box. What? Look at this box. Let's see what's inside. Oh, okay, so the outer placement a little bit. Oh, that is a madness. Whoa, why are they so light? This is the Puma Inferno, I think it's called. Something like that. And this was like a super limited release. Yo, they look crazy from the top down. It's almost like a concept sneaker almost, but they did release a very limited amount of them. And as you can see, they look absolutely wild. Thought that they looked so cool. The price was super reasonable on these things, considering how limited they were. Someone was selling them on eBay, so I picked them up. Not even entirely sure when they released. Sometime this year, I assume. And they're relatively simple. It's like a foam that is wrapping around, like pretty soft foam to be fair, all around this pair of shoes. It's called nitro foam. You've got these spikes at the back, and then the upper is pretty basic. How are they looking? Can you even see? Oh, that's wild. Okay, so definitely with shorts, they look pretty crazy. I'm hoping with pants, they look a little bit cooler. Pretty comfortable for like how insane that they are. Like obviously I'd have to wear them around. They probably made these for looks over comfort, but who knows? Maybe Puma really killed it. Either way, you've got a ton of breathability. You've got like this very thin plastic mesh over here for added, you know, airflow. This is definitely a wild one, but hey, I think this is so dope, and I'm gonna really try and make them work. I just really wanted to check these things out. This is the Puma Inferno. Let me know what you think of this absolutely insane sneaker. Let's keep it moving. Final package, and man, this one is a huge W. I cannot believe this is like the biggest W this entire year by a long shot. Here we go. Look at that. Okay, so it's like exactly the same box as the other one. And look at that. Look how cool that is. You got the little sunset vibes. Oh man, they feel soft. This is the J Balvin Rio Jordan 3. Damn, it's so dark. It is pitch black. So a couple little extra bits. You do get an extra pair of laces, which are wax style, same as the black ones that are on here. It's like the Jordan brand premium touch type of vibe. And then on this side, of course, you got the little hang tag, just like the last one. Take a look at that over there, the smiley face, the J Balvin branding. So first things first, the leather. It feels insanely soft, like super soft, and like, wow, look at that. That is what we want to see. Obviously, they did a great job on these things in terms of like, you know, premiumness. You've got a very nice tongue with that same tumbled leather. Still think I prefer the sail ones. Man, having both of them is just so nice. Definitely my favorite work that J Balvin has done out of all of his other sneakers. The ones, the twos, these are definitely my favorite, and I'm sure he'll probably cook up some pairs of fours. But yeah, these things were insanely limited, and somehow I managed to get them on the Nike sneakers app. I never get anything on there, so this is massive for me. Take a look at how colorful that semi-translucent outsole is. The right outfit, these are gonna go so hard, like a darker outfit. Either way, let me know what you think of these down in the comment section, and let me know if you prefer the black pair or the sail one. That's all the boxes, guys. Don't forget, Yeezy Day is upon us, so if you want to see the entire drop calendar, click that video right over there.